Hello, I'm Eagle Gardens, Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram, and this is fucking talking shit with Eagle, episode 568. Got a great episode for you this Friday evening. You've seen her around YouTube, I'm sure, cannabis community as well. This is 420 Green Goddess. Miranda, how you doing this evening? You want to tell us how you're doing and where they can find you if I left any gaps there?
Yeah, totally. I'm very well, much better than I have been. I'm actually just getting over the stomach flu, unfortunately. But I'm feeling pretty good today. You can find me at 420 Green Goddess 420 on Instagram. You can find me on Let's Be Buds on YouTube and Caribou Heart TV on YouTube. And I actually do have my own channel, just it's not very popular yet. So you can follow me there too if you want. And how are you doing tonight?
I am doing well. Thank you for asking.
Good.
Get my behind the scenes stuff going here. Need
No
to get me a
worries.
joint roll.
I know.
I've
I was
got
just
some
thinking that.
chili bean
Ooh,
that
nice.
got seeded, but
Oh
still,
no.
I don't know if you can see that. It's
Okay.
pretty good
Nice.
there.
Oh man, that sucks that it's seeded though.
Yeah. That was I guess the hunt to do that breeding project for DOA. I've had a few males floating around and keeping them around without flowering in my hectic life, I guess, has been a challenge, to
For
say the
sure.
least. So lessons learned, lessons learned.
It happens.
So what do you got to smoke on this evening?
You know what? I'm glad you asked me that because I went to the store like last week and I normally have to smell the strains to know whether I'm going to like it or not. And this time I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to pick. I'm just going to go blind. So I went blind and then there was one that stood out because of the name and it was Pink Taco. So I saw the name and I was like, I have to like just grab a gram of that to try it. And then it was actually my favorite one. So I went back and grabbed more. So that's what I'm smoking.
It is quite the funny story.
Right. Well, because like the store that I work
So
at, I could just go behind and smell it if I want, but I was just like, you know what? Let's live dangerously today. Sorry for
So
interrupting you.
you're in Canada. Can I got? Am I right there?
Yeah. I'm in Ontario, Canada.
So you're obviously you guys can still put the nose on the cannabis. I mean, that's the way it should be selected. I think. By
So
the way,
no, there's a difference. So people are always like, okay, you work at a dispensary, but the difference is it's not a government run dispensary. We are on a native reserve. We do not go by government rules. So yeah, you can smell the shit. You can look at the shit. We're not gonna, just we're not like them. We're not gonna have it behind a package and be like, just guess which one you're gonna like. But yeah, you should be able to. And the government can, but not the actual flower. So they can have these like smell pods in there that smell like the flower, but it's not going to be like completely like the flower. Like, come on. So a lot of the stores, I don't think even use them anyway. But yes, you can smell it at
so
my store.
so kind of like a I don't know, almost like a scratch and sniff, basically, or is it art? Is
Yeah,
it do they just take some scent that's artificially
I
comparable and that's your sample? Is that
I
what I'm
don't
hearing?
I don't
Basically.
know. Like in my mind, I would assume maybe they're just putting like terps into like some sort of sponge thing. You know what I mean? So it's not going to be accurate. Like, there's just no way. I think it's stupid. Just let the people smell the stuff. Jesus.
Right. I agree. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. It's weird how it changes geographically, how you can purchase cannabis, what is allowed, what isn't allowed.
absolutely. Yep, that is true. I know.
Still jealous of the just be able to throw it in the mail method of Canada. That's
Yeah,
that's
it's
pretty
awesome.
awesome.
It is awesome. I know. It is really awesome. Like, it'll be awesome. You know, one day it's going to be awesome for everybody. We just got to keep doing what we're doing. Keep doing what we're doing.
All right. I can't help but ask, but what is what is the taste and the profile on the pink taco? I can't even say that without
You
fucking
gotta
laughing.
ask. It is a little kind of fruity. Here, let me take a hit here and I'll tell you. It's got like a not a fruity, but like that sweet kind of taste to it. It's good, whatever it is. I don't even know what strains it's from, actually. I should check that out. And I apologize if I'm ignoring chat, but I'm a little nervous and I'm not very good at multitasking.
It can be hard sometimes paying attention to the chat there. Only
Totally.
for the most part, I keep one eye on it, but only the red blocks really kind of catch my attention.
Totally. No, I agree. Everybody's loving the pink tacos, right?
Yeah, you know I fucking appreciate that. We talked about that. I don't know about a week ago.
Yeah.
Keeping cannabis names like fun.
Yeah.
Because people, I think honestly, the first argument that I remember being about cannabis names actually came from Canada. I remember
Okay.
seeing a report from people like, I just don't want my grandma fucking coming in trying to get her medicine and saying had to say Alaskan Thunder
Oh,
and fucking,
totally.
shit like that. I'm like, come on. I mean, we can, abbreviate it or something, but come on,
Exactly.
we're gonna run out of names. We try to keep it too serious.
Oh, totally. Like, and now that you mention Alaskan Thunderfuck, we actually did have it in the store, and I really had to hold in a laugh when an old lady did ask for it because I was just like, oh my God, she actually said it. It is funny. Like, I gotta admit, when somebody asks for it and it's some little old lady, it is pretty funny.
Oh, shout out to the bud tender that can keep a straight face to the person that comes in and says that I love the taste of that fucking baked taco because I couldn't do it.
You know what? Just for that, I got to go into the store next week and I'm going to videotape me walking in and saying that.
That will be a good one.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I got to write it down or I'll forget. Oh man, what are you smoking on?
Oh, that jelly bean. I'm still de-seeding
Oh,
or
okay.
trying to.
De-seeding, that's
I'm
always fun.
close. Well, it should be a decent mix. It was the Colombian mail that was floating around here. So whatever seed it is, the Colombian times jelly bean. And
Ah,
the 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 Colombian is Exodus cheese times Santa Marta Colombian gold.
oh,
So it's a good strain. So if they have to be
yeah.
crossed, it's not necessarily a loss, I guess. I mean, all seeds that have been produced have been viable. It was just an unplanned accident, I guess.
Totally, totally. I think Bingus, one of his strains was caused by a little accident as well. It happens.
It most definitely does. So
uh,
we can't get away from the question. We always start right there at the beginning. When was the first time? When, where, if you'll share?
yeah, for sure. So the first time I remember smoking it, was I think I was like 12 or 13. A bunch of us used to just go hang out at the mall. At the time, this is going to age me a lot, but at the time you could smoke cigarettes in the mall. So we would all hang out there. We'd go outside, smoke a joint, go in and hang out. I just remember having like just a good time, like we were safe, but we had a good time. We hung out. And I didn't really like smoke a lot until I was more around 16, 17. And then it was like, you know, pretty much daily from that point. Um, when I was, you guys are gonna laugh at this. So when I was about, well, it was right before I started working at this dispensary. Um, I actually got diagnosed with PTSD and anxiety disorder. So I thought cannabis was actually making it worse at the time. So I decided to quit smoking cannabis completely and see if it made a difference. And it did not. So I went back to smoking cannabis. I just had to kind of change what I was smoking. So I had to go with the less, sativa strains because those would set off my anxiety. And then, yeah, fuck, I'm right back to where I was. So that was the start. And here I am now. And there's a lot in between that I missed. But yeah, I
So
was pretty cool.
obviously you liked it. Did it continue? Was it pretty steady after the first time?
It was like it wasn't a daily thing. Um, but it was definitely like every time I was with my friends, we'd be doing it. Yep. And then yeah, like around 16, it became daily. And I was a little bit of a bad teenager. So I did a lot of skipping of school and going to smoke. Not gonna lie.
Nothing wrong with that. I think we all smoked quite a bit of cannabis there in our
Totally.
younger years. I don't think it ever stopped, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I take this for what it's worth, but I've actually kind of chosen jobs, picked and choose based on my cannabis consumption, sadly enough.
Yeah, but you know what? It's part of your life. So you have to. You definitely have to. I'm not gonna lie that I've made decisions it, literally from these fucking things. You know what I mean? So better to make decisions for cannabis.
Yeah, it's nice that these days that hopefully that won't become a thing for anybody in the future. Their cannabis consumption, holding them back from any type of career. It
Totally.
shouldn't. I don't feel it hinders, you know, anybody as skilled trades to go out and consume a little bit of cannabis before or on lunch or whatever to keep that back pain in check or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I would much rather somebody's mind on the job versus their mind on their pain the whole time because that definitely skews the job or the
Oh,
quality of the job, I should say.
absolutely. No, I totally agree with you on that. Like when I broke my ribs, the only way I could work was being on cannabis. If I didn't have it, there's no way I could have worked. Yeah, no, I totally get that. Yeah. And then like CBD, like I take a lot of CBD for my anxiety, and that really helps me a lot.
So did cannabis ever get you in any trouble? Let's ask that.
I've been really lucky. I don't even have a speeding ticket. Like I'm so careful. So no, I haven't. If I ever have, it's been somebody nice that's just been like, we're taking it. See you later. So I've been lucky. Yeah. Very lucky. I
Cheers to
have,
that.
yeah, cheers to that for sure. I have had some police, I think, watch me because of where I work. Because one day I left work and like 2 minutes down the road, I got pulled over. And the first thing he said was he could smell cannabis. And I'm like, well, no fucking duh. I just came from the cannabis store where I worked for 8 hours around cannabis. I probably do smell like cannabis. But he pulled me over for my license plate light being out. Okay, well, first off, some cars don't even have a license plate light. So is that even legal? I don't know. Two, I've never changed a license plate light in my life on any vehicle I've ever owned. So how often do they even go out? Anyway, so he was like hassling me, and basically like, I just explained. And then it got worse from there because he asked for my insurance and I forgot to put my new slip in. So I had my old slip and I handed it to him and he's like, "Oh, this is expired." And I was like, "No, it's not. Like I definitely have insurance. I forgot to put it in." So then I'm like freaking out in my head because like he just kept saying like, "If I search your car, am I gonna find anything?" And I'm like, "No, you're not gonna find anything." But then I'm thinking in my head, well, yeah, you probably are gonna fucking find something. So please don't. But yeah, he let me go. Thank God. Other than that, I've never had any issues. No, thank God. But I stay low key.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I'm definitely a loner. I don't hang out with a lot of people, so that probably keeps me safe.
I think the people that actually most good portion of the people that grow cannabis are somewhat introverted. I think.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I am an outgoing person, like once you get to know me, but I'm pretty shy at first. I don't normally just talk, talk, talk. Or sometimes I talk more because I'm nervous. That happens, which is probably what I'm doing tonight.
It's weird how the cannabis community has evolved over the years. To be honest with you, because like I said, I know for a fact most of growers are introverted because I know a lot. I know a
Yeah.
lot of them. But so basically, you'd see most of us at this time of hour hanging out, excuse me,
Yeah.
subs chats, his lives and stuff like that. And we would, we all wanted to reach out and talk with people, but we didn't want to lose our introvert ways. So we had our screen name that we could shield behind
Yeah.
and, still have some fun. And then it's evolved into this actually showing our faces and personalities, which is kind of changed, and which is greatly for the better.
For sure.
But it's weird to see the evolution of it all uh, to this point.
Yeah, I'm like super new to all this. Like, this is all really new to me. And I really love it. Like, the community is awesome. Everybody is just so like willing to share info and help you in any way. It's just amazing. And like, now if I'm bored, like there's Discord groups and Zoom groups that, you can sit there and just go on and hang out while you're watering or do whatever, which is really cool. I really, really, really like everybody. It's awesome. Yeah. Cause I joined Instagram like quite a while ago, and I decided to do a cannabis account. And for a while, it was like, wasn't really going anywhere. And I thought, oh, screw it. Like, this was a stupid idea. And I put the account away and I like didn't touch it for like a year. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot again. And I don't know what happened. I guess I just got in at the right time and I met a bunch of cool people and that filtered out. And yeah, it's awesome. I love this community. It's super cool. I wish more of you lived in Canada so I could share some products, but
So I didn't ask this, but do you remember someone? Sorry.
Oh shit, was that me or you?
Oh, it's me.
Oh, okay.
It's me. Same. Oh, so I didn't ask. Do you remember what types of strains you started at?
Yeah, there was a lot of like Northern Lights, Afghani. What else did we smoke? Oh my god, there was so many like old strains. Sour Diesel was still around then. Um, we did get a hold of one time. I don't know what it was called to this day, but this guy came to us one day and he's like, I got this like pinner of medical stuff. And this was when like you could not get a medical unless you were like dying. So he brings it over and it's like this tiny little pinner. And there's like six of us. And I'm thinking, like, what the fuck is this? Like, we're not going to get high. And literally, I had like one turn in the circle and I was blasted, man. I don't know what it was to this day, but it was crazy. Let's think of some other strains. Fuck. So that I used to grow a lot of Northern Lights. Oh, sorry, zoning out on chat there. Yeah, fuck. I don't even remember, to be honest. It's been so long. Fuck.
Well, I guess let's head down that path. When was the first time you started cultivating the plant? When's first time? When was the first grow? When was it? Tell us what it was like. I guess.
Sure.
Lights, medium,
So
all that stuff.
I've never grown like on my own. So basically what happened was when I was 17, I started dating somebody that grew. And so I grew with him for a while. We did grow mostly outdoor, but we did grow inside as well. But we didn't do tents at the time. We were doing like rooms. And I've also grown. I ended up renting a house that was just like a small little house in the country. So we turned one of the rooms, we had a water table in there, but I had a little like accident. And so I decided never to do a water table again. And other than that, it was just outside. This is actually my very first indoor grow by myself. So I was actually really nervous because I'm like, now all these awesome growers are actually watching me grow. I cannot fail. But actually, they're doing really well. I have a little issue with one of them, but I believe it's my fault because I got a little lazy on pHing the water. So yeah. I think it'll be okay in a couple days. It's just a little yellowy. I gave it some CalMag. I pH'd the soil to see if the soil was the problem. I don't think it is. I think it's definitely, I'm an idiot for not pHing my water.
So in soil, then, as I did hear, is soil, not cocoa.
Yeah, I'm using organic, like water only soil. So I'm using the Gaia Green. I did add some of this. So this is the only thing I've added to it. I don't know if you'll be able to see. I can never pronounce that word. I'm sure you can.
Synergy. That's odd from the guy that mispronounces so many screen names.
So yeah, I've just added that. And yeah, water only. So definitely I believe it's a pH issue. And it's not even that bad. Here, we'll have a look. If I can reach. Sure the lights can hear. I'm gonna unplug this for a second. All right, there we go. So if you look, the one at the back's a little yellowy. It's not horrible, but definitely something's going on. There's the rest of them. They're looking really nice so far. I can't get over this wedding cake, actually. I don't know if I can get a good look. Look at the hairs on that thing. That's wild.
It's good though.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool looking.
Who's got the Wilson hand slaps there? And that's fucking, I love, that's pretty cool.
What's that?
Back of the tent, the
Oh,
red hand slap.
Oh, that's
It looks like the
actually
Wilson.
so that's actually to represent murdered and missing Indigenous women. That's why I have it right there where people can see it, because I'm very into Indigenous culture, obviously. Right. Yeah, so that's what those are. I've got more right here. So that's the hand right there. I'm sure you guys have seen like the videos where like they have the red hand over their mouth. That's what that represents.
I have not. So
okay. Well, there you go. Now you know.
I tend not to man, I hate to admit this, man, but a very limited intake of news. You know, there's just I think they push so much bad energy our way. You have to put up a wall at some point.
No, I totally agree with you. I don't actually watch the news at all anymore. The only time I will actually watch any news is if like somebody tells me something that I feel it's important to go and look. Other than that, I could care less. I don't even watch TV actually at all.
Just in chat here, Stingman wanted to know what week, veg time, how long did you veg?
Oh, I vegged for quite a while. I think I vegged at least 10 to 12 weeks. I didn't even count. I was having some issues with timers. So I had to leave the light on 24 hours. So that kind of set me a little further back. But it's okay to have them in 24 hours. But anyway, yeah. And then what was the other question? Sorry.
Let's see, there was what week, how long did you veg?
Yeah, it was about 10 to 12 weeks. And let me just find that question. The light I'm using is a CMH. It's 315. And then each plant is going to be different. So basically they're all going to be done within like a couple days of each other. So like I can take one down, the next one will be done a couple days later, the next one, and then the Blue Dream is the longest. That one's a 70 day. But honestly, I'm not going to go by the days anyway. I'm going to go by what I see. I know some people are big on the days, but you know
so what has been your favorite strain to grow so far?
I'm pretty sure that wedding cake is going to be my favorite. It's beautiful and it's definitely got like the purple in it. So I woke up one morning and I saw some purple along the edge of the leaf and I was like, oh no, what the hell's going on? So I'm like freaking out, like looking up what's going on. And then I messaged the person that gave me these clones and I was like, is this normal? And they're like, oh my God, you got the purple. They were like freaking out. So I guess it's a good thing. So it'll be really, really pretty. But honestly, I don't even know what strain I'm going to like growing because I'm so new at it.
So I guess, would you say you could recognize the medical side of the cannabis from the start, or was it kind of recreational from the get, and it just kind of made sense after a while?
Yeah, so it definitely started as recreationally, but now that I look back, I'm sure I needed it medically. I just didn't realize it. And I definitely use it medically now. But I also use it for enjoyment. I have to lay off the RSO though, because it's literally not doing anything anymore. I took 2 whole grams and nothing. So I'm like, okay, I have got to lay off for a little while.
I can appreciate that. I was taking it a little bit daily. It's almost like a vitamin, if you will.
Yeah.
So probably just a little bit more than a grain size every day. And
Yeah.
what I found out was it just killed my tolerance. So I did not necessarily, what I was taking in RSO, but my daily consumption
Yeah.
went right through the roof.
Totally. No, that's me too. Like I ate a 500 milligram. No, I ate 750 milligrams of a gummy and I felt nothing. I was like, okay, that's when you know you gotta fucking lay off the RSO for a while. But it's so hard because I use it for sleeping because I have PTSD and I have sleep issues. And so it's gonna be kind of hell. But I'm actually on a sick leave right now from work, so I don't have to worry about sleep really. If I need to sleep during the day, I'll sleep during the day. Cheers.
That's one thing that I think COVID screwed everybody's sleeping schedules up like that, to be honest with you.
Oh, totally. No, it totally did. And staying up to watch your show. Because I used to have to go to sleep so early for work. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not working. I can watch Eagle. So yeah, now my schedule is all fucking ass backwards, but that's okay because now I'm awake for your show.
apologize for that.
Never apologize. I love your show and I love all the guys.
It
And
was a
honest,
fun adventure to take on. Now,
totally,
been blessed to meet so many great people in the Canada community. I started off with as many as I, had access to from the beginning, and then just have been blessed to just let it steamroll as the shows
totally.
unfold.
No, it's awesome. I just love this community. It's so awesome. Like, just so you guys know, Ty, before the show, I messaged him and I was like, I'm really nervous. And man, he's just awesome. Like, he sent me a voice message. I'm not going to say exactly what was said because it was personal. But he's just an awesome fucking dude, man. I love that guy. So shout out to Ty.
I can relate. I can relate. I used to do it on a weekly basis, and then as far as like heading on to other people's forums and stuff like that, I get a little bit nervous too. Uh,
Totally.
Rarely do I put myself in that position anymore, to be honest with you.
Aw. Well, that's too
But
bad.
it's one of them things, man. Once I warm up, it tends to be all right. But man, you can see it, I guess, even in all the like early days when I did the other stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, you would see me, half hour, 45 minutes, about the half hour mark, one join into it, just kind of crack out of the shell and be all right with it. But
Cool.
straight out of the get, it took some getting used to.
Oh, for sure. Especially like you're by yourself, like any shows I'm on now, I have at least one other person with me, if not several people. So, yeah, that's I think what was making me nervous was the fact that like it's just me. You know what I mean? It's all focused on me and I don't like it. But I feel better now.
So, I asked you about your favorite strain to grow. Which have been some of your favorite strains to consume?
Yeah, totally. My favorite is definitely the DJ Short Blueberry, and I absolutely love grapefruit. And I know a lot of people don't like grapefruit, but I'm sorry, man. You gotta smell it again and taste it again because it's fucking delicious. And another one, well, I really do like that pink taco actually now. But those are my two like very favorite. And then I can't ever get this one again, and it's really shitty. I had one that was a strawberry Romulan, and oh my god, it was so good. And we had it at the store once, and this was like right when COVID first hit a couple years ago, and like all of Ontario pretty much went into a lockdown. So I got some and then we went into a lockdown and I was like, fuck, I can't get any. And I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw it out there and see if anybody else can find it. So I threw it out there and like literally an hour later, my buddy's like, hey, I got some of that. And I was like, oh my God. So I ended up buying like a larger amount of it, but then it was gone. It's never been back. And I don't know why, because it was delicious. So that was a good one. But I don't even know like what strawberry it was made with. Like I don't know anything about it. So it's kind of shitty. What is your favorite strain to smoke?
All of them. I'm gonna cheat on it all. There's been so many good ones over the years. I was really partial to headband for a while. Uh, of course, original G Kush,
Yeah,
like some white rhino, if I could hand
cool.
lavender Kush.
Oh, lavender kush
I'm
is good.
really partial. It's just that's a special cannabis if you can get your fucking hands on it. There's something I like.
For sure. Cool.
Of course, a lot of the TGA stuff. I'm real partial to Cheesequake. Uh, that was one of my favorites that they grew from them. Time Rack. Crazy Train.
Cool. So I
Too
do
many to single.
now, do you find do you smoke concentrates? I don't think I've ever seen you smoke concentrates. Okay, so do you
Yeah.
find that you may not like a strain in the flower, but then it's like wicked in the concentrate? Do you ever find that?
I'm gonna say I'm I'm definitely gonna say there's been a few strains that have been better in the extract form than the flower,
Yeah,
just because they were, I guess, mediocre
that's
in
exactly.
flower.
Yeah. Yep. Take a
But
mediocre flower and yeah, make it better. Cause I have had strains where like I won't even smoke it in flower, but then like I've tried it in a concentrate and I'm like, holy fuck, this is really good. But it sucks in the flower.
yes, I guess I could put somebody at the top of that list, and I won't say the breeder, but I'll say the strain, and
Okay.
that was the Detroit Diesel, which was
Okay.
locomotion times motor breath.
Oh, cool.
So two good strains. It was super loud, but I took that thing in so many phases. I think the last time I grew it, it was 14 weeks in, easy, and still showed no signs of like finishing properly or the way I wanted it to. And that was like the third or fourth temp easy adder. But at that point, I had sent her to, it was such a larfy flower. It, it had really high terps, but man, it made some, yeah, amazing shatter.
Yeah.
The crumble that they initially brought me back was just so terpy. But yeah, that's actually my fuck it strain too, because it fucked my perpetual right up. And then the last time I grew it, I was like I said, I told myself I'm gonna let this one go no matter whatever it takes.
Mhm.
And it said aha to me, fuck you, whatever. And just I ended up just losing my patience with it. I'm pulling it, it's going directly to the extract guy. And I don't know your experience with extracts, and I'm not bad mouthing extract artists, but
Yeah.
I personally, I'm just a how-to kind of guy anyway. I'd rather fix my own fucking car. If I fix it, I'll
Totally.
fix it.
Yeah.
If I could make my own extracts, I'd make my own extracts. And I'm always bummed out about there's no kind of real average on what I'm getting my return on extract.
For
And I
sure.
seem to not have good luck with multiple extract artists. So the
Okay.
last run with the diesel there
Yep.
wasn't a good run either with the flower or the extract guy.
Oh, shitty.
And so it was a double, yeah, screw that strain in the end.
Uh,
I mean, I came so close to just not stomping the seed that I had in the
mm,
vault. That's how mad I was over the whole thing, to be honest with
totally. I had a bad year outside this year. I had like PM issues and like, just issue after issue. It sucked. So yeah, I get your disappointment.
So would you say cannabis indoor or outdoor is easier for you so far?
Um, okay, I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot here. Uh, Definitely indoor, I find is easier. I can control things way better. Outside is too unpredictable. You don't know what's gonna happen with the weather. Um, I'm definitely growing outside every year, but I way prefer inside. And it comes out nicer, to be honest. Like, even if I did this exact same process outside, they would not look like that. I guarantee. They're beautiful. Every day I go in and like they're at a point now where like every day they look different and I just love it. I can't wait to peek in on them every day. I actually should be taking pictures every day and then do like a time lapse thing or something. Maybe I'll do that next time.
The time lapse grows are really cool. And,
They are.
I know Wise cameras. I've got one more. Oh, right here. Are really cheap, especially the newer generations. But right here. So you get these and you can put these in your tent right around
Yeah.
$20 from
Cool.
Home Depot. And then you can do time lapse with this. You can watch it playing at all times, but you can do time lapse if you put an SD card in the back of here. You
Yeah.
can do your entire row on a time lapse. You don't even ever have to set with it, but super
Yeah.
cool to do
That
and
is
cheap.
super cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that for my next run because it's a little too late this time. But yeah, I totally want to do it. It's really cool because it's cool to see the changes every day, but like to actually see it that way would be really, really interesting.
It is. I've done a few of them, and it's fun to watch like the buds stand up and fall and how fast.
Totally. I've seen other people's, yeah, when they're sleeping and waking up. They look so fucking cool. No,
An
totally.
interesting way to dial in your light actually to know when your plants are actually falling asleep. You can actually
Yeah,
shut the light off after
totally. That's a great idea. Yeah, definitely. Cheers.
Cheers. I know I killed mine. I need to roll another.
I got too much water in my bong. Yummy backsplash.
Had another good little accent here. The citrus explosion from Empire Breeding Co. got it as well. So
Cool.
picking seeds out of this in particular
No.
flower as well.
That's funny. Man, that's a pain in the ass.
Takes me back, that's for sure.
Mm.
There's no love lost from planting seeds.
No, for sure. I remember doing that too. Okay, I'm gonna try to pay attention a little bit to chat here now. Sorry, guys. Usually I'm better at that. Oh God, here we go again with the stupid word that I'm not gonna say.
Funny. So do you guys have any good cannabis events where you're at? I know, or I want to double back because
Yeah.
the doctor alone there in chat
Yeah.
asked, can you show where you're at with your hand? You can't do that with Canada. That's just a Michigan thing, right?
I'm right about no. I'm in Ontario. I'm right smack in the middle. uh
Younger days. Uh, Fresh 18 would go to Canada because you guys' drinking age was 18.
yeah,
Go
Quebec is
every
18.
weekend.
Yeah.
Party over there. Good times.
That's
Good
awesome.
times.
Totally. So for recreational cannabis, it's 21 there, is it? In the States? Like anywhere that it's legal?
Yes, I believe with parental consent or something like that. I don't even know why, but
They have to have parental consent.
yeah, yeah, it
That's
seems
weird.
weird, but yeah.
That is weird. Huh. Very weird. The trucks, yes, the trucks. They're making way for everybody. I know they're probably annoying the fuck out of some people, but it is what it is. I don't know if you guys saw my post on Instagram. There was a news story and it said like something like the government's thinking about changing the vaccine mandates. And then in brackets, it says, and not because of the trucks. I'm like, that is hilarious. If you have to tell us it's not because of the trucks, it's because of the trucks. Because of the truck. Right? Oh, I just thought that was so funny. Oh shit. Like, have people become that like I hate to say this, but that dumb that they have to put something like that and like we're gonna be like, oh yeah, it's not because of the trucks. Like, I don't know. It's so stupid.
Like they knew about another attempt or something that they were. No, we might as well not do it. That idea didn't work. They said it wasn't working. You got to think of something else.
Oh God. And then all the farmers actually joined them now too. Yeah, I'm sure the people that live in Ottawa are probably a little tired of it. Because I was actually I watched like a video of somebody else they were posting and they were there. And oh my God, all you can hear is the horns like blaring. I was just like, oh my God. Like, it's awesome. I think it's great, but I understand the other side of it too.
That stuff's a little out of control, man. It really is. I understand everybody's got their own opinion, but this is where it hits home with me. Okay. So basically, my youngest, if you'll believe this, is graduating this year.
Wow.
And this year at her school, if you could sign on to where the school could test your child at any point for COVID.
What?
If they had reason. Yeah. Or you could not sign, and basically if there was a problem or whatever, you'd have to self-quarantine. Okay.
Right.
But it's getting to the point now where I believe it's out of control. We didn't sign. Constant jabbing because of, I mean, we're getting on the daily, somebody's reported somebody.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're not going to pin,
Totally.
So now it's to the point now, though, if somebody's beyond their control, what? They have to be quarantined 10 days.
Yeah.
No choice. So that's 10 days my child's missing out on education You know, they can
Yeah,
homeschool, whatever, but they're not getting the full treatment. So
totally.
basically, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinion too, almost being punished for being healthy. You
Yeah,
know, eh?
yeah. No, totally. I totally agree with you on that. Totally. Like, and it's like that for everybody. Like, we had a case at work, and then anybody that worked with the person that day or the 2 days prior, they all had to isolate for 10 days. And that was like half our staff. It was like, what are we gonna do now? And none of them got sick. Like, it was just that one guy. So yeah, I know it sucks. Same thing. Like, so I have 3 kids, 2 of them in school, but my youngest decided he didn't want to go back to school. He wanted to do online, but my daughter is still in school, and like they're sending tests home with her. Like, they expect the kids to test themselves, and like, I'm like, you're not doing that. Like, if you're sick, it's one thing, but if you're not sick, like, that's stupid. But yeah, it kind of sucks. Like, even if the kids want to go to school here, um, they'd have to go in like this general area because you have to be fully vaccinated to stay at a campus. And I left that up to my kids to decide if they wanted to or not. And they decided not to. So they're kind of screwed for that, which sucks. Yeah, because again, then it goes back to education. Now you're eliminating choices for people, which is not right. But I think that things are going to start to go a little differently here soon. Possibly. We'll see. We've been saying this for 3 years now. It's only going to be another 5 years, guys. Just hold on a
Oddly enough,
little longer.
oddly enough, it
Yeah.
has only been 2 official years. I only know this because the numbers don't jive anymore, but they did for the longest time. But it was weird, and I never even thought about it. But Green 13 was the initial one that kind of went noticed the coincidence, I guess,
Okay.
that the show numbers were in direct correlation with the official days of count of COVID. So
Oh.
basically, my show launched the first official day of COVID.
Oh
And
shit.
for the longest time, you could almost look in the paper and it would say day 44, and it was my episode 44.
That's
Or,
awesome.
it ran perfectly. And a lot of times, man, I almost directly correlate uh, the show's success to kind of a little bit COVID. You know what I mean? People,
Yeah,
the right place, the right time, people
totally.
having nothing to do, I guess, but stare at this bald guy for hours. But
Aw, that's not the only reason, but I'm sure that helped because of the fact that more people were at home. Yeah, totally. But that's awesome. Now, that gave them the opportunity to catch the show, and they stay because they like the show.
thank you for that. How about that answer?
You're welcome. I really enjoy your show. I love the info, like, and I love the fact that there's info and there's joking around. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just all info. You have fun at the same time and you can kid around. Yeah, I like it. And everybody's awesome that's on the show.
It's an ever evolving thing. I think that's what the key to it all is. It's ever changing.
Totally, totally. Yeah. That's the only
It couldn't.
constant we have.
It has to be that way. To be honest with you, it has to be that way.
Yeah.
as somebody that does this night after night, it's hard to come on. I mean, we did it. If you go back and watch the first year,
Yeah.
5 hours a night for a year, talk clones, cannabis, IPM. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At some point, you gotta go, all right, we've talked about our gardens like every day now. So
Totally. We need a new person to show us their garden. No, totally. I get that for sure. But that's the good thing about these shows is you can take them lots of different places. Like it's endless, really.
I definitely like the conspiracy nights as well as the cannabis nights and stuff. We have
Me
definitely got
too.
into some crazy shit on a few episodes, so that's for sure.
For sure, for sure. I really liked the alien talk the one night. That was really interesting. Just to hear people's takes of things too, you know what I mean? Other people's opinions on things. It's pretty cool.
So
Pink
let me ask
taco
you
for the
this.
win.
Oh yeah,
They're still
they have
going on
not
about the pink
it
taco.
has not left Chad.
I
It
love
has
it.
not left.
Great. Now there's another one that I won't be able to live down. Moist pink taco. Can't we come up with a better one? Oh fuck, that's funny.
It's funny. That is super funny.
That is.
So it sounds like you work in cannabis as well.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm actually the manager of the indigenous owned dispensary. So I started just as a bud tender. Basically it was a friend of mine opened up the store. We opened up a year before it was actually legal in Canada. So I left a really good job and really took a risk, but it turned out to be an amazing risk. So I started out as a bud tender. I moved up and took over the compassionate club. So basically, I was the one helping all the medical patients. And then I got promoted to store manager. So I've been doing that about 4 or 5 months now. And then I just recently found out my dad has cancer. So I took a sick leave for a little while.
Well, I'm so sorry to hear that.
It is what it is.
Speedy recovery.
I don't think he's gonna recover, but it's okay.
Do you mind talking about it?
I can talk a little bit about it. Yeah. Sorry, I knew this was gonna. Yeah, it's okay. I'm okay. Let me do this bong hit first.
No problem. No problem. Thank you for being strong enough to talk.
Yeah, so we for a little while now, his leg was bothering him. So we went to the doctors a couple times. We had some tests done. Nothing really showed up. And then his leg started to swell. So a couple days before Christmas, I saw how swollen his leg was. And I said, we got to go to the hospital. And I had to force him because he is a stubborn man. But I got him there. And they found a blood clot in his leg, which is why it was swollen. But as they were looking, they also found something else that they weren't sure what it was. So we just had an appointment last week. It is bone cancer. I'm going to try not to cry here, but it's basically taken over his leg. So the bone is completely gone and it's taken over the bone. So basically, next Thursday we got to go and get like a bone density test and another test, and then go from there. So we'll see what happens, but I think they probably will have to take his leg for sure.
So sorry. Thank you for sharing. And obviously, it isn't easy.
No, definitely not. But it is what it is, and we'll get through it.
Pray for your father.
Thank you. So my dad's lived with me for a long time. He moved in with me shortly after my mom passed away. So he means a lot to me. And you know what, honestly, when it comes down to it, he's been in pain for a while. And I just like him not to be in pain anymore. So whatever happens, it is what it is. It'll be okay.
Tough.
It is tough. But I have a great understanding boss that basically put me on a layoff so that I could take as much time as I needed. And I'll just go back when I'm ready.
It's awesome that you have somebody, an employer, friend, it sounded like,
Yeah,
that's there for you.
definitely.
It's amazing as well.
Yeah, he's been really great. Yeah, because basically, stuff was going on with my dad over Christmas, and I just didn't go to work. I just kept saying I'd be in the next day, but I just was struggling a little bit. So finally, I was just like, listen, this is what's going on. I can't really work right now. And that's when he was like, that's okay, I'll lay you off until you're ready to come back. And so yeah, he's great, and I really, really appreciate him a lot. Because it would suck if I had a crappy boss.
That's super awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So again, I can't help but ask, because cannabis is relevant to us and it's relevant to cancer, and it's just relevant as a medicine anyway.
Yeah.
Is it an option? Is he
Oh
considering
yeah.
it at least for comfort?
He totally is. Immediately when I found out, I said, Dad, I'm getting you RSO. Whether it gets you high or not, we're just gonna get it in you. He's already over a gram a day. So he's doing awesome. He's sleeping a lot, but that's good. He needs to anyway to rest. So yeah, no, he's doing really great. The only thing is he'll have to stop it a little bit before, if he does have to have an operation, because it'll thin out his blood. So but we'll just keep going till we know more. Yeah. And it is helping.
It helps.
It is helping with the pain for sure. Like he has painkillers, but I've asked him not to take them unless necessary. I said, just keep taking RSO. Like if it's working, just take that. And it's worked so far. He hasn't had to take any pain meds. So it's really good. Yeah. No, you know what? It sucks. It really does suck. But people are in worse places than I am. So
sounds like he was quite an amazing man. So you have to hold on to all the amazing things that he taught and the amazing.
Totally. Yeah, he really is. Sorry.
Kind of continue down that road.
It's okay.
Well, I have been, a big advocate on this because I have dealt with a few people with cancer as well
Yeah,
as a caregiver here in Michigan,
for sure.
and it there is that period there where it is actually knocking them out in the beginning. And like you mentioned, the body needs that healing time. But
Yeah.
as us cannabis consumers know, there does come that period where we do start to build up an immune system, and it becomes more, hopefully at that point they're up in more quality of life at that point. One other thing I kind of learned about recently by happen chance is uh, RSO and well, the original Rick Simpson method there.
Yeah.
He always suggested the whole plant method. Not
Yep.
everybody does it that way. I'm
No.
guilty of not full whole plant. It's either
Yeah.
trim or bud, whichever I have or can use at the time, but it's
Right.
never a whole shade leaf and everything. And I
Yeah.
I wondered about why that his process works so well. And today I I hear, it's a variance and it's how it's made and everything else. But one thing, I was reading a book the other day and
Yeah.
they were talking about chlorophyll and how good it was actually for the body.
Yeah.
Actually, it was good for cleaning the liver and producing red blood cells and everything else like that. And I thought to myself, I wonder if that's why the Rick Simpson method worked so well, because when he made it, he would never was too concerned about chlorophyll in the recipe. It would, and
Totally.
nowadays we're so quick to not want it in the process or avoid it.
Yeah.
I think that's part of our loss is we're not having that beneficial, because we are trying to use it as a medicine. Why not have some of that chlorophyll in there? If it's
Totally.
necessarily a sleeping aid, it would come in handy. But if it can go ahead and work with the blood as well as
Yeah.
both help the red blood content and the liver for cleaning purposes, why
Yeah.
not leave it in there for our medicine RSO extract? Actually,
Totally.
purposely, go the extra mile to have it
Yeah. We use whole plant when we do ours.
in there.
Yeah. Yeah. I truly believe in everything that you take, you should try to get whole plant, including tinctures, everything. Because you're missing a lot of elements if you're cutting out some of that plant, right? Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I think you should be using the whole plant. Yeah. And that could be my problem too, is that I'm getting my RSO from my work and we make large quantities at a time. So I'm probably getting used to the strains that are in it as opposed to the RSO itself. So, like maybe in a couple weeks when I go get more, it'll be a different batch and it may work better again. Yeah. It sucks right now though.
I pray for a turn for you. On another level, I would like to give you guys a shout out for being cowboys in the pioneer days. Pre legalization, there was a lot of people that did it here in Michigan. I got tons of respect
Yeah.
for the people as well that realized the medicinal effects and were willing to stick it out there and make it available for people. There was a lot of so much risk, so much worry on if today
Totally.
was gonna be the day that the fucking police come kicking in the door and all
Oh
that shit.
yeah. Yeah. We used to have drills on what we would do if they did come. So like when my boss decided to open the store, like I said, it was like a year before legalization. So he actually went to the police and told them, this is what I'm doing. And they actually asked to come in and just check out our security, which we let them. We were really, really open with them. And they never bothered us, never once, because it wasn't worth it to them at that point. Like it was going to be legal anytime. We're using our native rights to provide medicine, and they don't want to go down that road. So they didn't do anything, but they could have on a federal level. Like the police around here wouldn't have been able to do anything. It would have had to have been on a federal level. And we were pretty safe. Like we've got safety things in place if we're robbed or if the police were to raid us. But it was scary and it was a huge risk. Yeah, for sure. But the best risk ever. I'm so glad I took it.
Oh, I'm glad you did too, man. Again, shout out to all the pioneers there. Took that early risk.
Totally. No, for sure. Paving the way for everybody.
It went back and forth, and it's still going back and forth here in Michigan with all that. It's, can't wait for things to level off somewhat.
Oh, I know, right? But we're
So let
paving.
me ask. I guess it's a little different there, but what? How are your thoughts on legal rec cannabis versus medical cannabis? Did did medical cannabis actually sweep the entire country before they allowed recreational cannabis?
I don't know if it was the entire country. I believe it was, but I'm not 100%. Um, Definitely here it was for a long time before it was recreationally. Um, I'm gonna be honest here. I don't think that if I were to go back in time, even though I work where I work, I don't think that it should have been legalized per se. I think that it should have been decriminalized. And, each person has the right to grow a certain amount, like it is now, basically. But having it go recreationally, the way the government's flooded, like, at first they were only going to allow a certain amount of stores and that, well, they changed their mind and they like flooded the place because they know not all of them are going to last. So they basically are trying to like push everybody out by putting as many stores as they can. And then it'll come down to where they'll just keep so many that are popular or whatever. But I just think that that's been the downfall. I don't think it ever should have been legalized recreationally. Personally, I think it should have just been decriminalized. I know that's
I
awful to
like it.
say, but I want it to be legalized and I want everybody to be able to smoke it and everybody to have access to it. But it's not going that way. You know what I mean? If that's the way it was going to go, then awesome. But that's not what's happening. So now that it has been here, we can see the mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm absolutely terrified of legal cannabis. I'm very on the record of it.
Yeah,
Yes, with you.
no, totally. And I am more so for you guys because of the caregivers, like here it's not the same as there. Like you don't see as many caregivers growing for people. So that's a huge part of where you guys are from. And I think that having it recreationally it is just bad. It's just bad for everybody. I'm sorry. I know I'm gonna get shit on for that, but
Just I came to see the legal or the medical side of cannabis uh, as my journey progressed. Obviously, as I grew older and lost more friends to pharmaceutical drugs, friends, family, um, I've seen the damage, so much damage. so
totally.
so much damage from it. I just, and not just from that aspect of it, but the actual healing part of it. I mean, there's so many levels to it being a good medicine. But the
Absolutely.
fact that it can get people off of the other medications that are getting people sick is
Yeah,
a huge benefit. You know, if it can get addicts off other drugs in general, that's awesome. If it can help people with mental
totally.
problems, there's so many pluses to it. And I just wish
Absolutely.
we were realizing that aspect of it worldwide
Yeah,
before we took it on as a party favor. There's no
totally.
shame in recreational cannabis. And there's value to that as well. Most people that drink or anything else are going home to, they're drinking or they're using for one reason or another. So there's
Yeah,
some medicinal, at that point, it's got to be considered medicinal either way, I
for
guess,
sure.
because it's a release. But I just wish the
No,
medical side would be more realized.
for sure. No, I agree with you. Like, honestly, yeah, that probably would have been the best way to go first is have everybody on agreement of how it should be medically. And somebody mentioned in chat that if it was actually legalized, there wouldn't be a plant count and there wouldn't be this and there wouldn't be that. And that's exactly what I mean. When they made it legalized, they're still giving you rules on it. So exactly what he said, it's not really legalized. It is, but it isn't. Alcohol is legal. They don't tell you can't, can only go buy one fucking bottle. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, you can only get one bottle a day. Like, I don't know. So I do agree. I agree that I don't think that it should have been legalized. It should have been decriminalized because then if we're, growing our own stuff, we get a fine if we have too much. You know what I mean? It's not, people aren't going to jail and people aren't getting their lives ruined because they have 10 plants in their fucking bedroom.
Everybody should have 10 plants in their bedroom.
Totally. Totally. Did I say 10? I mean 30.
You have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. You don't want them
Yeah.
burying themselves in word. Or 10, just get started and just see where it goes from there.
For sure. It's too funny.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this earlier. And
Yeah.
I think that it takes so much away from medical cannabis and I guess somebody from that works at a dispensary, so many different names for so whatever you want to call them in the
Yeah.
local area.
Yeah.
It gets a little bit disheartening to where when you want to start calling it medicine
Hmm.
and you start seeing the hype strains as like Burner and them guys of the, any of
Yeah.
them that are putting the names on the t-shirts and stuff. at that point, I don't care if it's Alaskan Thunder or whatever it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be disheartened to see that same grandma come out of the dispensary with an Alaskan Thunder or cookies T-shirt, because at that
Yeah.
point, I really believe it's gonna be very close to seeing that very same sweet old lady sign her check with a Pilsner pen, you know, or something else she got free from the doctor. You know what I mean? Uh, it's one and the same at that point.
Totally. Yeah, I hear you. I get you. Fuck. That's funny. Yeah, no, for sure. I think you're right about that. I think that having it recreationally has taken away from the medical, for sure, for sure. Because it's like it's a fine line in between, like, and not just that, but like I look at, so I'm a medical cannabis user. I was a medical cannabis user before it was legal, before the store was opened. And, you know, my prescription was for a certain amount. I had to buy it from the government, and they didn't have the doses I needed. So even if I wanted to have it medically, I was fucked. Like I still had to go to Joe down the road. You know what I mean? They don't.
Yeah, I guess the legality about it, I don't know. I've been doing it too long either way. So, like, the
No, I
chances of
hear
me
you.
stopping legally in my lifetime, if it's legal, are like not. Like I said earlier, back before it was even medical, I was already gearing my jobs, you know, to
Totally.
my use of cannabis. So I don't think the shit is ever
That's funny.
gonna.
No, for sure. You know
I
what?
told
It
that
is
to
what
my
it is.
fucking buddy. What first light I ever got. I
Yeah.
told him I shit you not. I used it. What the? I'm totally Charlton Heston. I used that reference. I was like, you know, once I get this light up, man, they're gonna have to pry this gross from my cool dead hands. I'm never gonna stop. I'm never gonna fucking stop. I haven't. I
Awesome.
haven't.
That's
So
awesome.
uh,
No, that's the way I feel
it,
too.
I think that there's something, you know, in the 70s, they actually, there's studies that showed that they knew back then that horticulture was a great remedy for re- returning soldiers from
For
Vietnam to deal
sure.
with stress. They didn't have the name of PTSD
Yeah.
thrown around on everything back then, but they knew it was great for them,
Yeah.
recovering addicts, and people with other just mental focus problems. But
For
that was never brought to the forefront, or you know what I mean? And that's one of the
Yeah.
things that I have found with cannabis in general is the cultivation side of it is without a doubt the biggest part of the medicine itself. Uh, so that's one of the things that again I fight for everybody to grow for, because there is so much of a value there, especially
Absolutely.
especially for people with PTSD. Uh, the
Totally.
moments when you're just total wound up and you can't, you know what I mean?
Yep.
The best times I've been locked up and can't figure out what the fuck I do, I find myself best wandering off in here and just like look at the
Totally.
plants and just let my mind unwind, and then it'll just naturally what comes next. And that's what the bind up is. What do I do next? What do I do next? What do I do next? So many things, you know, it's hard to
Totally.
reach out and grab that one and take the first step. So, you know, being
Totally.
that time in the garden is, you know, awesome for
It is. It is.
stress.
And not just that, but like I find I get seasonal depression. I'm sure a lot of people do. You know, you're stuck inside, and I'm finding that I'm not that bad this year because of the fact that I'm in there, I'm with the plants, I feel nice and warm like it's summer. So it would help with that a lot as well. Or for me anyway, which is nice. I have to excuse myself for 1 second. I'll be back.
No worries. Cheers, everybody in chat. Modern Genetics, we just 207. Heidi Doc. Hopefully, I said that right. Mr. Bingus, cheers to you. Gaster Tempe, Notorious Nugs. How you guys doing? Of course, Rose, how you doing? Hopefully everybody is enjoying this episode as much as I am. If you have any questions you'd like me to ask, please hit me up in chat. I'd be happy to pass those questions along. What are you guys smoking at? I guess I'm wanting to know why you guys hang out, smoke along with us. What is in your joint, pipe, or whatever? Cheers, Great Alaska. How is your evening? Hopefully you've kicked off your weekend great. Thumb OG, much respect to you, my friend. I would greatly love to see you in one of these Weed Nerd World episodes very soon. Little update from you, see how you're doing in your life, how your grow's going, more or less just how you're doing, my friend. Of course, another old friend to the show. Dave's not here. Cheers to you as well. Hopefully you're having a great day. What you smoking on? It is a little bit of the jelly bean slash citrus blazer in my joint there. Thank you. Can I help you? Can of happiness, Miss Cass. How you doing? Always a pleasure to see you in chat. Mr. Beast Coast Grower 420, another past guest. If you haven't watched his episode, I highly suggest you go back and watch that spotlight as well, man. Some great folks here in chat. Most of these guys have done some episodes. Cheered to all the past guests in chat.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Oh, a lot of great people in chat this evening.
There is. I know I feel bad. I'm ignoring them all. I'm sorry, guys.
It's super tough to do, to be honest with you. When it's the one-on-one like that. Easier when it's a panel, the panel shows. It's
totally.
Just kind of fade into your box and disappear into chat.
Yeah. No, totally. Cheers, guys.
In fact, there has been there's one episode now, all the true fans of the show that have not missed an episode know exactly the episode I'm talking about. But it was up until this one episode I would go, it doesn't hurt if you'd like to have another device or bring up another window. You can keep up with chat and
totally.
That episode changed everything. So nowadays, if you're smart enough to bring up the chat on your end and you want to involve that, all right.
I'm used to bringing up the chat, but oh man, yeah, when you're, well, you know what, I'm talking, I'm having fun, so I apologize for not talking much in chat, but we're having a good time over here. I gotta focus.
So they're wanting, I believe I asked this already, but because since I asked why you were absent, if they had any questions.
Yeah.
Dirt Road Dude, I guess, asked, what do you pay for RSO?
Okay.
Hopefully nothing.
I do pay for my RSO, but I get a very, very, very good deal. But we sell it for 20 per G. And that's actually like the cheapest you can get it here, pretty much, for the quality that you're getting anyway.
That's one thing that before I ask the next question, I have a lot of respect for Canada for is their cannabis medical system and what they think is fair, how many plants you're able to grow and stuff like that.
Yep.
State to state here, I think that it's very unrealistic consumption and way,
Yeah,
way, 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 way off. So I got much respect for Canada's medical system.
for sure. No, I do respect them for that aspect. So like when I went for my medical, um it was slightly different, I think, than it is now. But basically you could get a couple different licenses. So you could get one just to have your medical so that like if you're carrying it, you're not going to get in trouble for it. Then there's another one that allows you to grow. And then there's other ones if you're doing it on like commercial levels or whatever. But I believe it's different now. I believe that they've lumped it together, maybe. I don't know. I'm growing it no matter what, so I don't really care. When I first got my prescription, basically the way it worked is they put through like so many grams per day, and then they would work that out to how many plants you would be allowed to grow. But it was never enough. Like, to be honest, it wouldn't have been enough anyway, not to continuously have medicine. Like that's probably what you're seeing there too, is that even if you can grow medically, it's not enough to keep going all the time. Is that what you're seeing? That's okay.
Sorry about that. I was
No,
trying to finish my typing before
that's okay. don't be sorry at all.
That's what I am seeing, 100%. And that's a huge part of my bitch, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
When medical came through here in Michigan, it pretty much made the medical scene a joke. A joke, in my opinion. The amount you can carry from place to place are the exact same. The amount you can have at home is completely insane and different. Basically, if you're a recreational grower here in Michigan and whatever you can produce, you're able to have here. But as a medical grower, let's say you, like, for say, not a caregiver instance, you would only supposedly have 2 ounces of usable cannabis at any one time. That's
wow.
And it might even be prior before that I was honestly, I don't even know anymore since I started growing, you know what I mean? Before grow days, it was an ounce a week. So that's to me, that's a 2.5 week supply there. And if you're running a monocrop or whatever, you're either already over, or you're just not doing things right, or you've reduced your numbers down to accommodate your worry and breaking the law, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's super, super unrealistic. I've always told people, please, we have a 12 plant grow here in Michigan. That's 4-4-4. Start them all at once, get 4 going. You're going to have a light harvest that first time.
Totally.
And then 30 days, they're out. Shoot 4 more.
Yeah.
And actually keep yourself in cannabis. But that's so unfair that, legally as a recreational grower, you could have a closet full of weed, but to call it medicine.
Yeah.
I mean, you
I
have to
agree.
shortchange yourself. That's what makes it a joke. And that's what I'm afraid of across the board.
For sure. for sure. And I do see that here too. Trust me. We may have a little bit of a better you know, medical side, but I do see what you're saying here as well. And, you know, like other things too. Like I've looked, and where I can get my medicine from, or where I'm supposed to get my medicine from, they don't even carry RSO. Like, okay, are we medical? Because you don't even carry RSO. Like, I don't know. It seems weird to me. But whatever, it is what it is. We just got to keep fighting.
I guess as long as it's legal, you're able to grow it. If you want to call it medicine, use it medicine, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. But
Yeah.
it's sad that it has to be like that. The
It
way
is.
that I put it is it takes numbers for funding.
Yeah.
It's just that's the way it goes, you know. And people, you know, they want to see those numbers build like more and more dollars for the research you want to do. Well, when legalization comes across the board, and I've seen it here in Michigan, the number of medical cards pulled went right down, because
Yeah.
exactly what we're talking about. Why do I want to pull a medical card when I don't even need to be in the system? I can grow as much as I want. I can consume as much as I want. I don't have to have the state in my grill.
Yeah.
Why pull the card? Well, with the cards not being pulled, unfortunately, white papers, there's somebody counting them cards
Yeah.
and dictating funding that will go into medical cannabis research and stuff like that. So as those
Right.
numbers dwindle, I'm afraid proper research numbers will dwindle. Because
Right.
recreational weed, I don't think is going to give two shits about, you know, the medical impact side of it. As long as you're
Totally.
there, they ain't going to give a shit or care why.
Yeah. No, you're right. Maybe we should get those truckers to come fight the cannabis battle for us. Okay, guys, we're moving on to cannabis.
That is fucking funny right there. They're getting it done.
They would get it done. Come on, guys, let's make some phone calls.
Need push board on the medical cannabis side of things, fellas.
Yeah, we're on our way to Michigan. You know what? I know I'm joking, but I guarantee if fucking somebody like put that bug in their ear.
I think it already took off, to be honest with you. It's totally awesome. So I obviously think that the bong there is your favorite consumption method. Am I right saying that?
Oh yeah, totally. I feel like papers take away from the taste of the flower, personally. I can notice it. I don't know. Maybe there's some papers that are better, but yeah, I prefer the bong. I do dabs as well, but I use like a nectar collector. But yes.
Nice.
And that's my favorite one because of all these perks. I have a taller one. This one's pretty big. Just ignore it because it's not clean. That one's even taller. It's got 2 sets of perks.
Holy
but that one's hard to smoke.
Congrats to your healthy lungs on that tall son of a bitch. That's all I say.
No, that one's a little rough. It's pretty big. But you know what's funny is like I cough more off a joint than I do off my bong because I'm used to it now. Like I used to just smoke joints and I used to like hack off a bong. I hated bongs. And then like I don't know what happened. I just started smoking out of the bong one day and now I can't smoke joints. Well, I do once in a while, but definitely prefer the bong. Needs to use raw black or no, I can taste it through the raw as well. Elements, which is also by raw, by the way. um, those ones I don't mind. They're not bad, but oh my god, I did just say that, yes. What is she saying? I'm sorry. Elements rock though. They're wicked.
I prefer the joint myself.
Yeah.
Not a blunt guy. I do like the big joints.
Yeah.
This is uh, my favorite. This roller here.
Okay, cool.
This roller here.
Cool.
It rolls like a dime-sized joint. You can
Awesome.
pack this thing. But if
Yeah, it looks pretty big.
you ever bought papers for it, it will only a king size paper will leave you about 7/8 of an inch short
Uh
of the entire roller. So you
uh
never got the whole thing out of it, but it would still roll a cannon.
cool.
But and I love those. And if you ever see me at like festivals, I'm good for having a couple of foot long concerts. I love to like
Nice.
sneak two or three of these in
Cool.
and on a concert
Awesome.
is usually. I find I tell you what, a little secret for concert traveling. If you're a grower and you can willing to sneak in 3 foot long joints to a concert, you can pretty much sit wherever you want.
I love it.
As long as you get through that door, I
Yeah.
promise you, if you stroll over to whatever area you want to sit in and fire that bitch up while the band is playing, they will usher you over and find room for you.
Totally, totally. That's so funny. So before COVID hit, I was able to go to my first concert here where cannabis was legal. And it was really cool because it was an outdoor concert and you couldn't smoke once you got like past a certain point or whatever, which was fine. But like they had the smoking area. And now, you know, you're used to seeing people having cigarettes. Everybody's out there smoking joints. It was so awesome. Like it was just like it felt surreal sitting there outside while cops are walking by you smoking joints. I was just like, this is weird, man. And then I actually brought a vape into one concert. I try not to bring joints unless I'm in VIP, just because they're usually indoor concerts here, and I've had some dirty looks from people before. Most people are cool. Most people are cool, and it depends like what kind of concert you're going to, too. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's the fun thing about it is I've had people, elderly people, that
Yeah.
didn't even smoke, that just wanted it to. Can you get my picture with this thing? Take the, cell phone and shit. That's
That's awesome.
I do have a cigarette story for you, cigarette concert story for you. Okay. My oldest daughter,
Yeah.
uh, I love her so much. Just made
Aw.
me a grandfather. I'm very
I
stoked over
heard.
the idea of becoming.
Congrats.
I am. I never thought I'd say that, by the way.
Aw.
I dreaded the idea of ever becoming a grandfather, but seeing she made it to a respectable age, You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
was the last one in all the family to where I mean, I wasn't the first one to have be grandpa or nothing like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
looking
That's
forward to it.
awesome. Oh, for sure.
But
Because being a oh, go ahead. Sorry.
oh no, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I
Uh,
cut you off.
she she bought me us tickets rather, to
Yeah.
see Tool. She
Oh,
became a fan,
awesome.
and we've learned to share so many things as a father daughter. Music, later in life, cannabis, much later in life, cannabis.
Cool.
But she's 26.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can legally consume with my daughter. It changed. It kind of really
totally.
changed the relationship, and it you know kind of the father
Absolutely.
daughter, and it made it's fun smoking with.
No, for
Nonetheless,
sure.
I'm getting away from the damn story. So we go to see Tool,
Yeah.
and she bought me tickets for Father's Day to go see Tool. How cool
Okay.
was that?
That is awesome. Yeah.
It was pretty good. And the vibe at Tool was completely different than when I seen them originally in their heyday. It was drinking fest. This time around, much chill, people with babes,
Cool.
more chill crowd. It was a good time. We go down into the pavilion there and start smoking and kind of wait for the lights to go out. I started unleashing a fucking barrage of joints. I went heavy-handed for Tool. I took three fucking foot long joints. This is no lie,
That's
and
awesome.
a fucking bag full of joints like this.
Oh,
So
fuck.
I
Awesome.
mean, I was loaded heavy. So I'm
Nice.
firing them off, and I'm just like sending them on their way.
Yeah. Cool.
And I'm just a little worried. I'm watching the crowd a little bit, and somebody actually handed me a cigarette. And I'm like, I hit it, and I looked at him. I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, don't. Why would you do that? No, that's not even funny. We're
Oh
smoking weed here.
oh my god, I'm
So
sorry. It's
a
not
little
funny,
while
but it
later,
is funny. You
all
actually
right,
take
well,
it.
so a little while later, and then we're hitting these joints, and I notice it's just blasting this gentleman
Yeah.
right in the face, and he is fucking cheesing. I guess I can't not tell this part of the story. He is fucking cheesing, and you can tell he wants to hit this joint
Yeah.
bad. And I kind of, and he's like, no, I can't. He kind of like points to the date he's with.
Oh,
I got your number. But it's just like every hit I take just blasted him in the face. And he
that's
is
too
absolutely,
funny.
it's taken him back. He must not have been an everyday smoker, but he was like loving it.
That's
So the
hilarious.
concert goes on,
Mhm.
and like they start spotlighting the crowd here.
Okay.
And I see him take away some people over there. Wow.
Oh
They're
no.
it's the joints. That's what I immediately think. It's, oh
Totally.
no, they're fucking. So they start spotlighting right around us, and I'm like, oh fuck,
We're
fuck.
fucked.
So I actually like I'm hitting the one, and it just like zooms by me and hits the guy that just oddly enough just passed me that cigarette, right?
Oh my god.
I couldn't make this up if I wanted to.
That's crazy.
So I'm fucking nervous. I kind of like fucking. I actually hit the joint down, and I hand it to the person next to me, and they take the joint. I'm like, funny, but whatever. I've got
Aw.
plenty. I'm
See,
worried
but
about
like
being caught with the.
we shouldn't
So
have to fucking worry about that, man. Anyway,
no, we
story. Go
shouldn't.
ahead.
But this is the funny part of the story. So
Yeah.
the now two lights are fucking spotlighting the front row, the row
Oh
in front of
shit.
me, and I shit you not, if security did not come down
Oh no.
and drag out the gentleman smoking the cigarette and left the people smoking weed alone.
Oh,
They
that's
literally
so
grabbed the
funny.
one guy smoking a cigarette and
No,
left the. Yes, I
that's
swear to you.
that's good though. That's good because yeah, for sure. That's crazy though. Oh my god.
I was completely by my, look at, I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't
Yeah,
believe what I
I
just
would have been shocked too. Holy fuck. And I would have been paranoid like you too, because when I brought that vape into the concert that one time, um, like I was in the VIP section, but there was a security like maybe 10 feet from me, and same sort of kind of thing happened where like he kept looking my direction after I was smoking, and I was like, oh fuck, he caught me. But he didn't. But yeah, it's like shit. Plus, I paid a
it's
lot of
funny.
money to go to that concert.
I'm seeing it in chat. Somebody wrote, "Karma's a bitch." That's exactly what I thought when after
Totally.
they dragged him off. I kind of thought that's what you get for handing me a cigarette.
Totally.
Jesus.
Like, what was the guy thinking anyway? That you guys were passing around cigarettes? What the fuck? That's so funny. My God. Maybe he was just like, he was drinking and fucking didn't realize. I don't know. But yeah, karma is a bitch. Totally. Totally.
Great concert though.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. Oh, I'd love to see Tool. That's wicked. I've seen a lot of good bands, but never Tool.
So I guess while we're on the subject, what has been one of your favorite concerts?
Sorry, one of my favorite concerts.
Yeah.
So I think my very favorite was in Montebello, Quebec, and it was like a 3-day kind of event, and it was just wild. So they shut down this whole town for this event, and like I didn't realize what it was going to be like, and like we pull through, and it's just like people everywhere. Like you can only drive up to a certain point, and then you have to kind of leave your vehicle and walk in, and it's like the whole town is just this concert. Like it was crazy. There wasn't a lot of like well-known bands. There were some, but it was just like the atmosphere and the people. Like it was just so much fun. And then I did go to another one in Sarnia. This is actually funny. I'll tell you this story. This was a funny one. So I used to have a van, so I could take the seats out of the van and I could fit like a mattress in the back. So basically I would just take my van to these concerts and we'd sleep in the back of the van. So we go to this concert, and it's in Sarnia, and we decide to like park in a park that's like really close to the concert, and we're sleeping, and we wake up the next morning, and there's like some event happening in this fucking park that we're sleeping in, and people are like walking by us, and I'm just like, oh my God. This is embarrassing. But that was fun. It was really fun. There were a lot of good bands there. Iron Maiden, John Cougar Mellencamp, fuck, so many I can't even name. Alice Cooper, fuck, who else? All kinds. It was a lot of fun. So
I
yeah.
like good concerts.
Oh,
Concerts
me
are fun.
too.
So
Totally. No, I love
there's just something
concerts.
about the music, the people, having that many amount of people, the energy from having that much people together. It's always amazing.
Totally. It is. It is. And usually, like, everything's kosher. You don't usually have too many issues at concerts like that. Every once in a while you do. But, it's funny because people, like, I've gone to a lot of like punk rock concerts, and, people judge certain people by the way they look. And I will tell you that out of all the concerts I've ever been to, it's those punk ones that were the most peaceful. Like, no fighting, like, just fun. Although it it kind of sucked because they have showers there that you can use or whatever. But like, I couldn't have a fucking shower for like 3 days because they were like piled every day. Like, there was no way to have a shower, man. It sucked. But it was still fun. I didn't care. I had a good time. It was really hot though, and there was like no shade. Oh, and I will say, like, I've never had this happen before. So we left the concert. We get home, and I wake up the next morning, and my lips were like swollen, and I was like, what the fuck is going on with my lips? I thought like I was having some sort of allergy or whatever. And I go to the doctors. Oh, my light just went off. I go to the doctors, and I actually sunburnt my lips and had some sort of reaction to it. And they were literally like swollen, and it fucking killed. It was so weird, but it was because I was like in direct sunlight for 3 days. I'm surprised I didn't like get dehydrated or because back then I drank too. So I was drinking and in the full sun for 3 days. I don't drink anymore.
It's a good thing, I guess. I mean, to each their own. I'm a non-drinker myself, but I have sure had some fun on alcohol.
Oh,
I
me
gave it
too.
up. And fuck, by the time I was like 21, I was already like tired of drinking. Because like I told you, I was going to Canada every weekend at fucking
Yeah,
18. And that
totally.
was like fucking a 4 or 5 hour ride for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where we'd go down to Detroit, cross the border over in the winter. Good times. Good times.
yeah,
And
totally.
fucking, so we were drinking pretty regular at an early age.
Yeah,
And I was actually, I had bar stories in high school. There was a local bar that would picture nights on Wednesdays, and they didn't give a shit. They never checked no IDs. And I would get in there, and I'd fucking, senior year, I'm telling bar stories every Thursday morning. So by the time I was 21, I was like fucking done with it. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
a good, it was a good thing. But I don't hate people that drink these days. So
totally. No, and
drink
I was the same.
responsibly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, I was the same. When I was younger, I was able to get into this bar before I was of age, and drinking age here is younger. So I was actually pregnant with my first child by the time I was 21. So I was definitely done drinking. And, when the kids got a bit older, I'd have some here and there. I just don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy waking up feeling like crap. And I don't enjoy wasting time feeling that way. So it became, just not worth it for me. And it's not like I won't have one, if it's Christmas and somebody says, let's have a drink, I'll have a drink maybe, but a drink and that's it. And even then, I don't even like it. Like I was saying this to somebody the other day, at work at Christmas, they always want to stay after work and have a drink and just chill for a minute. So I don't drink, so I have to go buy something to drink, have a drink or whatever. So I bought like a Mickey of something. I literally had like one shot out of it. It was in my fridge, and then I'm like looking around. I find the Mickey from the year before that's still full with just the one shot out of it. So that's how much I drink.
Yeah, I'll tell you my last what the fuck kind of alcohol story was I passed out in the sun.
Oh shit.
Fucking yeah. I had to go down to Florida the fucking very next day.
Oh
I had
no.
a friend of mine uh who was racing in the Cardi Cup became a couple of bodies short just before the race. They asked me if I would, basically just be a weight. I'm
Okay.
no fucking sailor. I can be told, go over here, leave, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Turned out we got a fucking practically winless day. So you start drinking a little bit, sailing, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I ended up fucking passing out on the fucking deck of the boat and
Oh no.
got burned purple. I was literally fucking
Uh,
purple.
that's crappy.
Fucking yeah, had probably one of the worst nights rest. How I remember the Mickeys. Oh, that's terrible shit. Um,
Uh,
one of the most terrible nights rest I ever had. I went to Florida where suntan, sunburns are frequent. I got down there, southern Florida, Naples, and then
yeah.
people fucking looked at me down there like, "Where in the fuck did you just get off the sun and shit? Where the fuck you been?" It was hard to sell that I was coming from Michigan, and I was fucking literally fucking purple and shit.
That
Yeah,
is
after
so
that, it
funny.
was like, yeah, no more of that shit. But
Right? Oh man, yeah, that would have sucked. Oh, that would have hurt so much. So I'm native, so I don't normally burn. But a few years ago, I did burn for the first time, and ouch, it hurts. I never really knew how much it hurt until I got one. But I did the same thing. Like I never burn, so I never worry about sunscreen or anything. And I went out like normal, sun tanning. Like I do that a lot. I love being out in the sun. But for some reason, I guess it's affecting me now. But only like the first time I'm out, and then I just get dark from there, which is okay. Oh my god, I've never been burnt like that though. That would have killed, man. Where are you coming from? Michigan. That's hilarious.
you're still dazed and confused. Oh man, sun can beat you up.
Oh, fuck it
I
can, yeah.
definitely learned that day the sun can beat you up. Man,
Absolutely. For sure. Especially like if you're on a boat out in the water. Man, I used to sail a lot too. It does. Yeah, the sun really gets you out there, man. You'll be burnt out there before you even know you're burnt, even if you don't fall asleep. Oh, that would have been shitty.
definitely don't miss alcohol by any means. And to
No.
be honest with you, you know, I can't say off camera or off the record because we're obviously both. Uh, I as my kids got a little bit older, towards the 18-ish age,
Yeah.
and I knew that there was a chance that alcohol could be coming into their past, as they got older.
Yeah.
They've never not one of my kids have ever seen me impaired from alcohol. I can
Yeah.
honestly say They've never seen me impaired. Well, with cannabis, I guess it's impaired as I can be from
Yeah.
cannabis, but that's it. That's it. They've
Yeah,
never, you know what I mean?
for
And
sure.
so I had to kind of warn them a little bit about the dangers with alcohol, you know,
Yep.
that you can actually lose control, do stupid shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with that being said, you know, I've always secretly hoped they would take the avenue of cannabis if the options were presented. To be honest with you, several reasons. I mean, if they're at a party and they're presented with the two and they give in to peer pressure for one reason or another, cannabis, you could still be quite functional. And I've talked about 3 daughters, so I'm concerned
Oh,
about,
totally.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and you're more, you can still be aware of your surroundings and whatnot through cannabis. It's less
Yep.
likely of somebody trying to fucking stick a Mickey in your joint. You know what I mean? That's not gonna
Totally.
happen. So I've always kind of secretly hoped that, and that's been so far, fingers crossed, none of them are really drinkers. They don't ever,
Good.
the older ones use cannabis, and
Cool.
you know, I don't mind.
No,
I don't
no,
mind that they made that choice.
for sure. For sure. No, my kids are a little bit, well, I have a 19-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 15-year-old. And honestly, even at the age that they're at, if they came to me and told me, I'm not going to tell them that I prefer them to do cannabis, but I would much rather them do cannabis than drink for sure. Absolutely. My oldest, who's 19 and he's allowed to legally drink and smoke, he doesn't actually like either. um he is a big boy, like he's tall and he's big, but I've let him try like a couple edibles and stuff, and he hasn't felt them. So, but like I don't want to like give him too much. So he just isn't interested in it, which is fine by me. The younger kids, I think, are, but we'll get there when we get there. But I've always been open with them. Like, I've never necessarily hidden it. I mean, it's not like I openly smoked it right in front of them when they were younger, but I never hid it either. You know what I mean? So I've always explained, why I use it, and I've explained the dangers of using it when you don't know about it as well, right? You can get anxiety if you were to take an edible and it's too high for you, or there, you still got to be safe. There's still things that can happen. I've been there myself, man. I've taken too much RSO before and like been one of those people that are like, oh my god, like this is too much. I can see why somebody that's not used to that feeling would be the type of person that would go to the hospital thinking something's wrong. You know what I mean? I can see it.
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen lockup actually from overdoing it with the edibles. Just completely locked up.
Oh
Couldn't
man.
move, had a hard time breathing,
Yeah.
full panic, and it was. I never thought cannabis could do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was tough to watch, to be honest with
Totally. No, I've had a couple times like that. And again, like I have uh panic attacks every once in a while. So like before I had this issue, I never had an issue with anxiety with cannabis. So I think I'm just more prone to it now.
So, do edibles compound panic attacks? I mean, or is it up?
They don't necessarily, but like, I mean, I don't know about you, but the initial feeling for an edible when I start to realize that I'm feeling it is usually my heartbeat's going fast. So that also happens at the start of a panic attack. So I don't think it's necessarily the edible itself. I think it's my own body because it's used to having the panic attack that as soon as it feels that, it can be set off by that. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like my body's like, oh my God, here we go again. And then it just puts me there. It really is all in your head, you know, like people say it's in your head. It is in your head. It totally is. I know that. But your mind is a pretty crazy thing and it can do crazy things and it can make you feel certain things even if you don't fucking want to and even if you know that's not what's really happening. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a little scary. I've had a full on panic attack where I've passed out, like literally passed out. Yeah. But I'm way better. Like that was when I first was getting them and I couldn't control them and I didn't really know what was happening. And, you know, once you realize what's happening and you kind of just got to get in your head, or I do anyway. I have to just really focus on breathing, getting my heart rate down. That's for me the biggest thing. If I can get my heart rate down, I can stop my panic attack. But if I can't get it down, your body just automatically takes over and puts you through those motions and you just got to wait it out, which sucks. Yeah, I did pass out. Yeah. I actually thought that that was the very first major panic attack I had. And I actually did call 911 because I thought something was wrong with me. So basically, I was sitting in bed and just out of nowhere, I felt almost like a bit of vertigo, like I just a little like wave of kind of dizziness. But I was like lying in bed. So that kind of freaked me out. And then it sent my heart rate going. And then like I felt like something was wrong. And I ended up calling 911. Like it can happen easily. And I was talking to them on the phone. And I remember like crouching on the ground talking to them because I felt like I was going to pass out. And all of a sudden, I just woke up to, I could hear the lady like yelling in the phone, like, can you please answer? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I must have passed out. And then she sent an ambulance. But by the time the ambulance got there, it was over. And then I felt stupid. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, yeah, I had a panic attack. And basically, I just said I wasn't going to go to the hospital. It was just a panic attack. I was fine. And they suggested going anyway, but I didn't. And then I just, I went to my doctor. I explained what was going on. And I was in actually a really abusive relationship for 5 years. And that's what caused all of that. So, I knew I was stressed. I knew I wasn't in a good spot, but I didn't realize that was setting them off. So I left finally, and I took a while to heal, and I'm pretty good now. I never went on medication. My doctor wanted me to go on meds, and I didn't want to. So I just did it myself. And that's why I'm saying it takes a lot of brain power to get through it, but you can, man. You don't need medicine that way to get through something like that. And I used cannabis. I used a lot of CBD oil. I carry a CBD vape pen around with me. And if I feel like I'm getting anxious, I'll just start smoking on that and I feel better. I don't think it's necessarily just the CBD. Like the CBD, helps. But I think like when you're having a panic attack, you need to like kind of focus on something else. So I think the motion of holding it and smoking it, and it's flavored, so there's some flavor. I think all of those kind of help. And yeah, no meds. Prescription meds, like pharmaceutical meds is what I'm talking about, not cannabis. I definitely suggest cannabis for somebody that has PTSD or anxiety, but you want to get the right kind.
Cheers to you for getting out of the relationship there. Toxic narcissistic relationships can be it's to get out of and be very damaging in the long run. The
Totally.
longer it goes on. So
Oh yeah, totally. And one thing is you can't, you know, people could tell me whatever they wanted. I had to be ready to leave. And you know, it sounds crazy, but you get almost like a separation anxiety when somebody treats you like that. And it's really hard to leave. It's hard to be gone. So, you know, I don't want to break down again here. I left several times and always went back. And the very last time, basically something happened and I left and I never went back. I got out and I am much stronger because of it. You know, it's shitty that it happened, but it did help me in a lot of ways as well, because it made me think differently about things.
the rebuild path is very empowering.
Totally.
They in them relationships they do kind of strip away a lot of the what we are, what we think, stuff like that. In the
Absolutely.
end, you don't even know who the fuck you are by the time you're able to walk out of that final cycle. You do
Yeah,
walk away kind of confused, unsure.
totally. No, you are so right. Like I couldn't even leave the house. You're right. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I was anymore. I didn't have anything anymore. Like I used to do things and I didn't do things anymore. And yeah, so it took me a long time to find myself again. And
I
but I
can tell you from the
really,
experience, the first time somebody asks you something like, what do you like to do? Uh, Something along that lines, and you can't answer that question. You don't even, that is the moment of change right there. You go, fuck,
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't even know. It's,
yeah.
that's the day everything changes, I think, in everybody's life.
No, I think you're right.
Cheers.
Cheers. No,
Cheers to
totally.
you on that.
Oh,
Have you ever curiosity there tried fungus mushrooms psilocybin for the PTSD?
yeah.
And
So people have mentioned it to me, and like I haven't done it since I was like 16, 17. And my thinking is have the anxiety. Um, I'm just worried that I may have an anxiety attack during. And if I do, that's going to be a fucking horrible trip. I might be able to microdose, like really microdose. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I have thought about it. I have thought about it for sure. It might be good for me actually, because I've came a long way, but I definitely still have issues. There's no doubt about it. I probably always will. And I'm
I
okay with that.
highly suggest. You know, that's one thing that in my younger days, I fucked around with psychedelics and shit. Uh,
Yeah.
but it wasn't until later in life that I kind of rediscovered mushrooms, I guess, if you will.
Right.
And I don't regret it, to be honest with you. It kind of correlates, to uh, toxic times. I,
Yeah.
it's kind of funny because I was kind of blind to a lot of stuff that was in my environment prior to an accidental like hero dose of some
Yeah.
truffles. And through that like evening, I kind of like took a download and actually kind of seen what was going on and what was to come. You know what I mean? And it was brutal, but in the end, man, I'm so grateful for that experience to have dealt with it in such a more healthier way than it could have played out uh, in the future. To be honest with you, people ask, how the fuck, how you holding up? You know what I mean? And it's like already done. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's
Yeah. I
I
may.
greatly it helps with that and PTS and a lot of things. To be honest with you.
No, that's true. That is true. I've had a lot of people tell me that I should try it. Yeah.
So another question I have for you, and
Yeah.
again, tell me to leave me the fuck alone at any point.
Okay.
uh, um, I noticed from catching you on a live stream or two that you are very empathic. Uh,
Yeah.
does that kind of correlate with the empowered side of things? We'll say the rebuild side of life. Did that kind of correlate?
Yeah, I always kind of knew that I was like a really sensitive, emotional person. And I could always kind of like tell when something was bothering somebody and things like that. And then I've noticed like other little things in my life. But you're totally right. Like I didn't really understand the full extent of it until I was in the healing process. And because you think a lot, you think a fuck of a lot when you're healing. And then I started like tying little things together throughout my life and realized, yeah, that I believe I'm an empath. It might sound crazy, but I just know it. I just don't think I fully have control of it per se. But I know because of things like people tell me things all the time that like I won't even know somebody and they just spill their guts to me. And you know, I just always happen to be in situations where like I can help people or um I don't know. I can't even explain it. It's just little things like that I've pieced together. And yeah, definitely the healing process made me realize why I've always kind of been like that my whole life.
It's not an easy title to carry. In bad.
No, it is not, but it is also very, very rewarding. I think it's worth the pain you get from it as well.
Keeping it on the good side of things as much as you can. Uh, because negative energy, as we've learned, negative energy. Why is that? That's another thing, I guess. Why is negative energy seemingly so much powerful to the empath than positive energy? We can stack positive energy and stack positive energy and stack positive energy, and it is a, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
only a little bit of negativity can just
Oh yeah.
feel so
Yeah.
powerful.
Totally.
Why? You, your thoughts on why?
Yeah, well, for an empath, you feel what other people feel. So if they're feeling negative, you feel that. Like I can't explain it to somebody that isn't an empath, but okay, here, let me give you an example. A guy at work walks in like normal, totally like normal. Nobody else would notice anything's different, but I immediately felt something. And so when he came in, I was like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." "What?" And I was like, "I just feel like something's off." And he's like, "No, I'm fine." We carry on. 4 hours later, he's like, "I don't know how you knew it, but something is wrong." And then told me what was wrong. And I was like, that right there, I felt it, and I can't explain it. But I think, negative energy, it doesn't make you feel good. So you're going to notice it more, I think. Because I'm a pretty
I think
happy person to begin with. You know what I mean? So it does really affect me if somebody's got some negativity. And it doesn't even have to be like, an anger or anything. Like that guy was upset because he like missed some raffle or something. Like it wasn't even that big of a deal, but I knew it the minute he walked in, like it's weird. I can't explain it. And I'm not like that. I'm not 100% because I do think that you have to work on it. You might have a gift of it, but you still have to work on it to make it more powerful.
see, I agree, 100%. For me, I had never felt it until, again, the interaction with that one evening
Yeah.
with that hero dose. Everything that opened so many doors.
Cool.
It was crazy, crazy. Um,
That's pretty
yeah,
awesome, actually.
empathy was one of the big things that came with it, and it built. Um, it's funny behind the scenes. I'm told that to Smiley. I'm like, man, I just don't know how much it wears on you because you do. I mean, I great
Totally.
nights. I take that a little bit of that energy sometimes. If it's a bad night, I take that energy as well. But it builds
Absolutely.
up night after night. You know what I mean? And it can
Yeah.
be uh but that it was that I instance I took a I never had actually I had obviously empathy, but never to that extreme until that moment. And it was after that I actually started seeing angel numbers. I talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why the post the other night, it's weird. That one was in particularly weird because I used to like not pay any attention to them. And after that one night, man, they started becoming very prevalent. One one
Yeah.
one 222 to the
Yep.
point where I couldn't ignore them anymore. I had to like start looking into them.
Yeah.
And once I started following the numbers, life changed in a pretty
Cool.
positive way. Again, I don't, it's kind of funny because when I started like lowering my vibration for one reason or another,
Yeah.
the numbers will disappear. It won't even be around. But
Right.
when I'm back to the right mindset, they're like, come on, follow me. The numbers
Yeah.
come back.
Yep.
And I
Totally.
thought it was weird. The other night that I seen somebody else post that thing, the angel number thing.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And it was completely random. That wasn't like say my choice of my number.
Right.
That was what it drew for me. And it happened to just correlate 100% like it
That's
always
cool.
does. And it's crazy how the numbers will lead you to
Yes. So
positive.
I've heard a lot about, the number theory, but I have never had a number pop out like that to me. really. I don't know if it's maybe because I haven't paid attention, um, or maybe I just am not in tune like that. I don't know. I'm in tune with some other things, but I've never had the number thing happen. I don't see a connection for me. I'm sure it's there somewhere. I've just not seen it.
When they come,
Totally.
it, it's just like I shit you not. It's just like buying like a car or something like that. You don't necessarily see that in particular car, and then when you buy one, you're on that like frequency. You're noticing them fucking every turn. Never really
Cool.
realized there were so many of these. Pretty cool
That's
experience.
awesome.
Hopefully,
Totally.
they'll find their way to you.
No, awesome. Very cool.
So, where do you see yourself headed in your next cannabis journey? I mean, there's so many ways these days to go. I mean, dispensaries, grow,
Yeah,
obviously, YouTube content creating, teaching people how to grow and all that good stuff.
totally.
Where's the road gonna take you next?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. I'm gonna try growing some autos here really soon. I just gotta wait because my landlord's coming for a walkthrough. And I'm only allowed 4 plants. So as soon as she's gone, I shall start them. Other than that, you know what? I don't know. I'm having fun with Uncle Rick doing Let's Be Buds. That's a lot of fun. Some people are telling me I should do my own show, but I don't think I'm gonna go there. I'm happy with what I'm doing right now, just growing for myself. Once I'm back at work, I won't have time to do much more than that anyway. It's pretty hectic there. But yeah, I'm going to continue to grow. I'm going to stick with the living soil. I'm doing really well so far, and it's really easy. Um for me, I don't like adding a bunch of shit into it. Like, I'm sure lots of people have suggestions of what I should be adding in. I like to go as natural and easy as possible. When I grow them outside, in fact, I don't do anything. I don't add anything but water. And that's basically what I've tried to do here as well. But I did have to add something because of the yellowing. Other than that, that's all she's getting. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Fuck, the future is very open.
That's awesome. I love to see you stoked about the future.
Totally.
So it one of those things I know I've come across this point of many others. I mean, have you drawn that line in the sand in life to where it's gonna be cannabis? I'm gonna make it work.
Totally. Oh yeah. My life has been cannabis completely for the last 4 years now. So yeah, I'm in it completely. Even if I don't go back, if I were to not go back to the job I'm at, I have no worries about staying in the cannabis industry. Our store was the first cannabis store uh, in Ontario on an Indigenous reserve. So we became really popular really quick. And so we're really well known. And, we've slowed down a little bit because of COVID and stuff like that. But this, what people say is if you were to hire anybody from the medicine wheel, you can never go wrong because my boss has been so good right from the start with training and courses and all kinds of stuff. So they know that there's good workers there. And so I have no doubt that I could go anywhere I wanted if I decided to leave there. In fact, I've had job offers that I've turned down. I'm pretty loyal to my boss. He's not just a boss, he's also a very good friend.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's fucking awesome.
it is.
Some of the best people I've met, honestly. I've done a lot of things in my life as far as work,
Yeah,
community circles, all that good shit. But the best people I've met and continue to know industry through cannabis one way or another.
for sure. For sure. I totally feel the same. I just find cannabis
So
users are more down to earth as well, just more you get what you get, you know what I mean? You're like, there are people that are fake and come in and try to get into the circle, but they get weeded out really quickly.
So I'm interested into shaking your tree now. On the dispo side of things, you
Mhm.
kind of mentioned that you guys were known very well for your training and everything, and you said you were a contender at one point. So I'm kind of curious to know your guys' angle on how people select their cannabis. High THC numbers, terpene
No.
profiles. It says we back in the day, I think we did it right. We talked about it in the beginning. The
Yeah,
smelling of the cannabis has always kind of been the one. We know each the strains vary from person to person, but once you
absolutely.
put your nose to that jar, you went, that's the one for me, right there.
Exactly.
You didn't.
Yeah.
You practically stop at some point. You go through 30, have 30 more to go, and you'd be like, that's the one. I don't even want to
Yeah.
waste my time anymore.
Yep. Totally.
So how do you guys get around with not, yeah, you said you got the sniffing jars, but I have suggested at one point people consumers should have to sit through like a video or something,
Yeah.
teaching them.
So
But are you guys
we educate people for sure. So this is what we do. When people first walk in, if they've never been in the store before, they fill out a membership form, which includes, information on any medicines that they're on, any the reason why they're in. And they have a consult with one of the bud tenders before anything else is done. Once they have the consult and we figure out, we're like, doctors send their patients out to us because they know we're going to sit down and talk to them just like a caregiver would and figure out what exactly they need to help. It might take, a while. And I always try to explain to people that it's not like, you're going to try that and that's going to be the magic medicine. You may have to try 20 things before you find the right one. But yeah, basically that's what we do. And then because we do medical and recreationally, we do have the people that come in and they're like, what's the highest THC? So what we do, and by the way, ours does have the bud in them. We don't have the sniffer things. We have the actual bud that you're going to buy in those jars when you smell it. So we have the counter, it's all glass. We have the bud sitting there. We have all the medicinal benefits listed. We have all the terps listed. We have the effects listed. We do have the THC and the CBD levels because people want to know, obviously. But we try to, not focus on just the THC. We do educate people for sure.
I completely love the consultation side of it. And as I was saying before, that's the way it needs to be. It should, for every new place you walk into, that
Yep.
should be you should either have to sit through that video or sign a waiver basically saying, yeah, I don't really give a shit.
Oh, totally. I agree.
And at that point, being a salesman or bartender, I would be hard. It would be hard for me at that point to go, okay, here's your cookies t-shirt. Let me take you over to the top shelf.
Totally. Totally. So this is one of the pamphlets that we have sitting on the counter for people to take. And it's just like some facts. So like it goes through the history of cannabis, the endocannabinoid system, myth versus fact, the benefits of it, and we put in the risks of it as well. And then we also include, when they sign up, we actually have a book. I was trying to find it here, but I don't know what I did with it. But it's a pretty thick book. It's about 30 pages. And that has a bunch of different ailments. It's basically an ailment and treatment guide. So people can take it home. They can look at different ailments. And we created this from the first 2 years of treating people and what we experienced from that. So it's not, again, not everything's going to work for everybody. But it's a really good book for people to have a look at if they don't know much. And that gets handed to every new client that comes in.
And again, I think that's completely awesome. So people can, directly relate what the terpenes in the cake.
Oh, I think you muted.
I think that's awesome. I don't know where I muted there. I think that's awesome that you guys made that available for people to, kind of relate what terpenes are doing what. But I think nothing compares to the nose telling you this is for you.
Totally. I agree with you on that. I totally think that you can smell what you need. Definitely. So that's the only thing that's kind of sucked through COVID is right at this time, we can't allow them to smell it. I know we're live here. Shh, I'm not going to lie. There's, if there's a regular customer in the store and there's nobody else in the store, I'm fucking letting them smell the jar, man. Like, fuck. These guys are spending their hard-earned money on this. They need to get what they want. Well, I'm gonna cut us. Oh, I'll answer this question first, and then I'm gonna take off because my daughter's coming to visit tomorrow.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for any time I get.
Oh, this was a lot of fun.
I was just gonna ask you what was one of your top selling strains. What's some of your best one you have?
Yeah. So Bruce Banner was super, super popular for a while. Another one, Durban Poison. We used to have people, they could not get enough of this Durban Poison. So we ended up, it was to the point where we couldn't keep up with how much people wanted. And so we had to actually sell it in full ounces on certain days at a certain time. And it was first come, first serve. And people would literally line up like an hour ahead of time just to get this fucking Durban Poison. It was crazy. So yeah, those were really popular. Girl Scout cookies, always popular. Gorilla Glue is always popular. A lot of the Max and the pinks are super popular. Everybody loves the pinks. And then we've got like crazy ones. Stripper Spit, that was super popular for a while.
I've never heard of that one either.
Oh no.
No.
Why do folks love Bruce Banner? Yeah, I don't know. People love the Bruce Banner, man. or they did then. It's not as popular now. Like if we had it now, it wouldn't sell like that. But yeah, it did then. Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. I don't even know why I was nervous. That was a lot of fun.
I'm glad you had fun, and thank you for taking time to do this. I know it should have been sooner than it came, but
That's okay. I know you're a busy guy.
I greatly appreciate you taking the time to hang out. And now, you of course have earned your official right to come hang
I
out in the
know.
nerd
I'm
world.
so excited about that.
You can come and go as you please now. The
That's
link
awesome.
that I sent you is
Yeah.
the link for the Weed Nerd World. Anytime you
Awesome.
want to come hang out, just pop in, follow that link
Cool.
whenever you want. There's no, please come hang out. It's strictly, I want to just fucking hang out and talk some
For
shit
sure.
and hang.
Sounds good.
So please take me up on that. The other thing I'd like to get from you before you go, of
Yeah.
course, is the sound bite. Uh, Hopefully you know what that is. If not, basically my version of it is I'm Eagle. I'm on fucking talking shit with Eagle, episode 568. You can put in anything before, after that, as long as it's got that in the body, I will be completely grateful.
Okay, shit. Can you repeat all of what you just said?
Sure. So basically,
I'm
stripping it
ruining it
down
for him.
oh no, oh no, stripping it down to the bare bones, what I'm looking for. And again, you put anything or before or after
Oh God.
is, hey, I'm Eagle. I'm on fucking talking shit with Eagle, episode 568. Again, you put whatever you want before, after. This will be a commercial for your episode at some point.
All
So
right.
don't
I hope
forget
I
the
don't
episode
fuck
number
this
so they
up.
can
What was it? 568?
568. That's
568.
correct.
All right. I can't do it. I'm on the spot now. All right. I am 420 Green Goddess, and I am on Eagle Talking Shit with Eagle episode 568. Was that right?
Perfect.
Oh my God.
Perfect.
I feel like such an idiot.
Oh no. That's the beauty of these. The ones I've released, man. Danny Danko had to do it 5 times.
Oh, good. Okay.
These parts, oh no. Oh no. They're some of these are priceless. Seriously. I started doing this in the beginning and they just kept getting so good. I was like, man,
Oh, I
I've
gotta
got,
keep it.
you wouldn't believe I have a fucking just archive of all these, and they are like
That's awesome.
some of the best memories of these
Oh
shows.
man,
These, yeah.
that's so cool. Yeah, it'd be cool to like string them all together into a video one day or something, eh?
I did actually the first 100 on that channel. I call them the shout out superstars.
Cool.
Basically, is the first 100 all strung together.
Oh,
Now
nice.
these days, I post them individually. Like when there's some gaps, I start posting them on Instagram. Like so, to be like, oh, go
Cool.
check this one out. You know what I mean?
Very cool.
So
Yeah, I like that.
hopefully,
Awesome.
hopefully you had some fun. I know I had
I
some fun.
totally
And
did. Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for having me.
have a good night, and I
You
look
too.
forward to speaking with you again. Those of you guys that are
Definitely.
watching, if you're bored and you want to hang out some more, fill up that tray, empty that bladder, and I will see you in the Weed Nerd world here in a few minutes. Those of you who are tired out, had enough, or just whatever, thank you for your time. Do not forget to do something nice for somebody. Random acts of kindness do save lives. One last thank you. Would you like to one last shout out to anybody else? Don't forget to plug Let's Be Buds, all that good
Yeah.
stuff. You want
Let
to?
yeah, Let's Be Buds is on Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. I'm also on Caribou, which is on Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday morning. And then you can also find Let's Be Buds aired on my YouTube channel. And thank you.
Hopefully, you
so
guys
much
are
for having me.
subbed to all those and check out all those episodes. With that being said, we are out.